just got from Victor, who is asking me how to make a bed with Polyboard. So I'm just going to go through very quickly how to make this bed, and I hope that it will be interesting for you, and it will show you how flexible different tools are in Polyboard. Let's make a bed. Let's start with a simple cabinet, which is very simple. Here is a simple box cabinet. Here we have basic box. Let's change materials to the box so it looks more like a. So we can say it looks more like a. Let's hang on. Before we change materials, let's apply a manufacturing method, which is just a default manufacturing method. Voilà. That's what default manufacturing method. So we don't have any assembly details. Let's get rid of the materials. Let's put a materials style. Which I prepared for it, which is actually a bed. But we say that this is just panels all made of laminated beech 30mm, which is better for a bed than a laminate. So here we have 30mm. I put some edge banding on it, but this is just to show the edges a bit better in the 3D display. Now let's do the modelling. How do we do the modelling? Well, first of all, let's give it the right sizes. Let's say we have to give it the overall dimensions of the bed. So let's say that the height of the bed is around about 900mm. That the width of the cabinet, which is the length of the bed in my case, let's say it's 1950. It's 1m95, and the depth of the bed, which is the width, or depth of the cabinet, which would be the width of the bed. Let's give it 900mm. This is 900mm mattress, so let's give it a 960mm width. Here we have the volume of the bed. Let's say that the bed we don't need the top, because it's bed, isn't it? We don't need the bottom either, because it's bed. But what we do need is this 3 panels here. But what we do need is a front. So put in the front, let's add what we call here a double back. That is another back, with this one back in the box. Let's put another back onto it, and we put it distance from the front, this back, actually 0. It will be, in fact, the front side. So what we get is this now. Square box or hole. Let's give the size now of the header board. The header board. Click the header board here, and let's say that the top is an overlap on the top of the header board of let's say it's 600. 600, and the bottom will be an overlap of say 150. Now we have the header board and we have the framing of the bed. Now the footboard of the bed, let's have a look what that does. Let's give it an overlap with the top, say of 300, and give it for the bottom. Let's give it an overlap of same as on the header, 150. Right, now we have a look at the bed. This is our bed structure, which looks a bit like a bed, but let's make it a bit prettier. For instance, this here structure of this part here, let's add a shape to it. So we take the top, for instance, and we say that the top is in fact an arc of a circle, and that this arc of a circle is say 30% bigger than it was in the original, which is the original arc came in from a DXF file, and that's fine. Do the same for this one here. We say it's got a structure, the top edge is in fact the arc of a circle, and the same, let's put it a bit more than 30, let's put it say 50%, and that gives us this. Here we look at our bed. On the top side here we could also put something in the middle. For instance, let's say an inner tooling, let's say that we would like, for instance, some sort of shape. Let's say that we have a cutout shape. For instance, let's have a cutout shape of a heart. This heart, let's say that the heart is 4 times as big as the original DXF file. 4%, no, 400%, sorry. 400%, and let's position it up a bit from the center of the board. Let's put it up at 250, see what that gives. That looks okay, and that's heart cut out in that shape. And do the same thing for the bottom, the footer of the bed. Let's give a inner tooling And let's say that we want also a heart, just to look, you know, keep it symmetrical. And this heart is a bit smaller than the other one, it's 300% bigger, and that it's actually above. It's got a, you know, from the position of the middle of the board, let's knock it up about 200 mil, see what that does. That's fine. Okay, and our bed is now looking a bit like this. Let's look a bit more decorative. And now let's add on the bottom, let's put another inner tooling, and this time call it, we'll put in a rectangle. This is a rectangle. This rectangle, we're going to give it a height which will be 150 mil, which would be the same distance as the headboard and the footer go beyond the rails. Let's give it the width so that it leaves either side of the bed about 100 mil. So that will be, if the bed is 950, that'll be 750. And let's give the position of it. The reference of the tooling will be the bottom, and the reference of the panel will be the bottom, and the position, the Y position, will be in fact 0. And that will put my cutout at the bottom, and that'll be okay. And there we have it. Here is a bed. Of course, we can continue modelling. Let's do it in auto. We can continue modelling, and we could, you know, change the shapes of the rails. We could change the shapes of the headboards and put assembly details onto it. That'll be maybe another video. Right. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope that very quick video was interesting for you. Goodbye. This is Nest Hilson from wooddesigner.org, and I hope to see you in the next video.